Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my National League South predictions. So, yeah, again, the National League South is into its final few weeks of the season. There's some games that could prove decisive and games that could settle places at the top and bottom of the league. So let's get straight into the predictions. First off, let's talk about the game that took place on Tuesday night between Torquay United and Chelmsford City. So this was the third time this fixture tried to take place after the first two games were postponed. And the hosts managed to run out 3-1 winners in a fabulous win. I actually predicted a draw for this game. I thought it would be tight, but Torquay produced a brilliant performance to see off Chelmsford City. They started well from the home side as Connor Lemonade-Evans gave them the lead. The Bristol City only put them in front 25 minutes in. However, Reynolds equalled out for Chelmsford on the 32nd minute, and going into half-time, it was 1-1. Chelmsford will be happy with this point. That's why any team will be happy with a point away at Torquay, especially at this time of the season. However, that man again, top scorer Jamie Reid, put the home side back in front 64 minutes in, before Andrews wrapped up the win in the 78th minute to give him a 3-1 victory. Fabulous performance for Torquay, fabulous result. I think that should just all but secure them the title now. They now stay top with the same amount of games played as Woking, 81 points. 70 working on 74. Torquay are there on 81. They're 7 points clear. It's all but secured now. They're placed in the National League for next season. The title is all but theirs. So, and you think it's a fabulous result for them. Chelmsford will be disappointed to not get something there, because I think they've got the potential to have done something there. We're in great form, but Torquay, it's a massive result for them in the 3-1 victory. First game involves my team Hampton and Richmond Borough as we travel away to Billericay town. So we are in desperate need of a victory here, but then again, so are Billericay, who are in absolute shocking form, even worse than Hampton. Billericay, the second worst form team in the division, with just 1 point from the last 5 games, in comparison to Hampton's 4 points in the last 5 games. So we obviously had that shocking 3-0 loss at home to Hungerford, which I've made my feelings clear about that. It was appalling. We've got to move on, and we've got to get a victory here if we want to start pushing ourselves away from safety of the relegation zone. However, Billericay, they also need the points, because they want to see staying in the playoffs. They're currently occupying the final playoff place in 7th place on 59 points. However, Concord are just a point behind them, and Wealdstone only 2 points behind them. So they're going to drop out soon if they're not careful, and especially the form they're going in, they'll easily drop out, and I think they will drop out personally, but they've got to start getting victories, and they'll be desperate to get a victory here. But again, like I've said, so will Hampton. Hampton be starting playing away from home. Hampton have started to play a lot better recently. There was a draw at Dartford. We obviously won at Oxford, and we're unlucky to lose at Bath. They're currently the 12th best away team in the division. Billericay, however, the 11th best home team, so anything can give here. Something's got to give here. So, and you think anything can go either way. It's a bit tricky one to predict, but I think we can actually win this here. I think we've got the potential to do this. Our performance will be good. We want to kick on and to get rid of our disappointing defeats. So I think we'll win. I think we're going to win here. I think we'll win 2-1 in this one. So I think it'll be a good result for us. It'll be kick-off, and I think it'll help us to stay up. So 2-1 victory, I'll predict. The next game to take place is between Chippenham Town and Dulwich Hamlet. So the West side desperately need a victory to boost any relegation fears. They've obviously got that massive point home to Billericay Town on Saturday in dramatic circumstances. Chippenham are a bit of mid-table mediocrity. They're not going to go anywhere. Dulwich, however, as away form is what has cost them this season. The last away game, they got thumped 4-1 at Oxford City. Their away form is what has let them down. They're the second worst away team in the division, picking just 14 points up from their 18 away games this season. Chippenham at home, they're a decent side at home, and they've got them up in that mid-table position. They've got 31 points away from home, in their 18 games at home. So form-wise, however, Chippenham are the worst home form team in the division going by the last 5 games. Just 1 point from the last 5, just 1 goal, conceding 6 in their last 5. Dulwich have started to pick up in their last 5 with 7 points from the 5, scoring 8, conceding 9. So I mean, it's got to give here. Dulwich is poor away form, and Chippenham's poor form overall. So it's a tricky one again to predict this one. Both Dulwich were desperate to get a point, so they'll be up for it. However, I think Chippenham's form will start to turn around here. I think their home form will be what proves too much for Dulwich, and I think Chippenham will just edge this one 2-1. Relegation battle 6-pointer in 2 teams who are desperate for points are Eastbourne, Borough and Gloucester City. So Gloucester City currently sit 20th in the league, who are on 35 points and 37, a point from safety, desperately need a win. And Eastbourne Borough are just 3 points on Gloucester in that final relegation, and that 20th place in 17th place. So Eastbourne Borough 38 points and 37 in 17th, 3 points from Gloucester in 20th. So both teams desperately need a win. Mark McGee would desperately need to win, who still hasn't got one since his reign as Eastbourne manager started. Last 5 games for Eastbourne, they're the 18th best form team, 3 points in the last 5, scoring just 3 and conceding 6. Gloucester, in contrast, aren't much better. 16th from the last 5 games, they've just picked up just 4 and scored 4, conceding 7. So both teams desperately need a win. both teams desperately need a win to stop putting an end to this poor form. Gloucester's last game was a 3-2 loss. Gloucester's last game, was a 1-0 loss at home to Welling. They were unlucky in that game. They could have done more. Welling did prove just about too much of them. Eastbourne lost 3-2 at Hemel in their last game. Again, unlucky to lose to a worldie with 3 kicks. So something's got to give it. But I think this could be a bit of a boring game to watch. I think it could even out into a draw, and I think it'll be a 1-1 draw between these two teams. Desperately need a win, but I think 1-1 will be the result in this game. This game is a Berkshire derby between Hungerford Town and Slough Town, so this will be a big game for both teams. Hungerford especially will look to kick on after their result at Hampton last week to boost their chances of staying up. Slough are currently 11th from 52 points. I can't see them getting the playoffs after that good point against Albans last week. They'll probably just stay mid-table like Chippenham. Hungerford are desperate for the points. They'll be at home as well. Whilst their home form isn't great, they're 17th best home team, picking just 22 points up. They'll be desperate for one and hoping they'll be looking like they can pick up a result here. Slough, however, are a good team away from home. They're 10th best team away from home, 22 points, 2 from the 18 away games. So both Hungerford will fancy the chances. However, Slough will think this is a good chance to get results in, possibly put a late playoff push alive. However, it's unlikely. These two teams are both in real good form, both picking up 11 points in the last 5 games, both scoring 8 in those last 5 games. However, Hungerford have conceded just 2, which is pretty magnificent, and Slough conceded just 5 from those last 5 games, so averaging conceding 1 every of those last 5 games. But both teams will fancy their chances. I think Hungerford have got a decent chance here to start putting their form back together, and I think they will actually upset Slough here. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, and I think end 3-2 to the home side, Hungerford, in a eagerly anticipated game between the two sides. Two teams in even positions in the National League South go head-to-head as Oxford City host Hemel Hempstead Town. So this is 13th place Oxford against 14th place Hemel. Both teams aren't going to go down now. Even though they are in dodgy runs of form, they're too far clear of the teams, the crappy teams below for them to go down. So it's an even game. There's neither team have got much to play for. Both teams are average form are in average form of the last 5 games. Hemel 14th of the last 5 games, getting 7 points, scoring 8, conceding 10. Oxford have got 6 points, scoring and conceding both 10 in the last 5 games. Head to head, the last game for Oxford was a narrow 2-1 loss at Chelmsford. They scored a late goal to reduce the deficit and get a late consolation, but it wasn't enough. Hemel won their last 2 games 3-2, so they're starting to put their form back together. However, the last time Hemel played Oxford thumped them 5-0, so Hemel want to erase that from their memories fairly quickly. I can see this easily being another crap game to watch. I can see this being a draw pretty easily too, so I think it'll be a 1-1 draw between these two sides, just evening out their forms and the position in the table, justifying why they are. So 1-1 is my prediction. Next game is St Albans City, who go up against Chelmsford City. So the away side will want to erase their 3-1 loss at Torquay in midweek pretty sharpish and hope they can carry on their playoff push again with a trip to St Albans. But this is a tricky place to go, St Albans. It's not easy. They've done really well this season compared to last season, even though they haven't managed to put their playoff push together. They're currently sitting just below the playoff places. They're in 8th place at the home team, the 8th best home team. 34 points picked up from the 18 games, scoring 29 at home. And away from home, however, Chelmsford are pretty dangerous. They've 18th from the 18 games that they've played away from home. They've got 28 points, scoring 31 away from home, which is one of the top away scorers in the division. So they're not terrible away from home by any means, despite that loss at Torquay midweek. That loss at Torquay midweek has dropped their form to the 8th best form team of the last 5 games, getting 8 points, 9 scored from those last 5 games. St Albans are 10th best form team from the last 5 games, 8 points too, like Chumford, and getting 6 points. So it's a fairly even encounter. However, I expect Chelmsford to bounce back from this and further strengthen their place in the table. They're currently 4th on 66. They want to boost their chances and get that automatic semi-final berth and put pressure on Welling and Bath. So I think they will bounce back, and I think they'll bounce back with now a 2-1 away victory. The team who desperately needs points is Truro City as they host Concord Rangers in a big game for the White Tigers. So manager Paul Wilkinson got off to a decent start as they got a good point away at Dartford on Saturday. So they hopefully get the confidence back into this game going at home. However, they're not the greatest at home. They're 19th best home team, getting 18 points in the 18 games, averaging a draw, but it's going to be more than that. Obviously, they were playing more Torquay for the first half of the season, which didn't help them either. Concord, however, are in brilliant form at the moment. Their last 5 games are the 5th best home team. They've scored 11 in those last 5 and got 10 points for them. So they're not going to be an easy game for Truro by any means, especially with the aspirations Concord have of getting the playoffs. Just 1 point off Billericay in the playoffs. Truro in a much dangerous position, only 1 point off the relegation zone, so a loss here could plunge them into big trouble, especially if Gloucester pick up something against Eastbourne, which was likely. So Truro desperately need a win. However, is it likely? I can't see it happening personally. I think Concord will get the win here. I think there could be a few goals. I think they'll win this comfortably 3-1, like they won comfortably at Hampton, but that was because of the win. But I think they will win comfortably. I think it'll be a 3-1 away victory for the Beach Boys. Teams who desperately need points for two different reasons go head to head as Broadstone host Eastleigh United. So Wilson obviously need the points to strengthen and get them into the playoffs. They're currently 2 points off Billericay, Wilson in 9th, Billericay in 7th. Eastleigh, in contrast, desperately need the points to get out of the relegation zone. They're 21st on 33 points, 3 points in safely, and any results to go their way. They need to start picking up wins. Eastleigh have started to pick up. They've got a good victory last time out against Chippenham, 2-1 against Chippenham, despite even if Chippenham were out of sorts and in pretty dire form. Wilson were unlucky to lose at Torquay. They put up a good fight there. It's a tough place to go. They put up a good fight and they were unlucky to lose 3-2. They could have got more. So it was their first away loss, I believe, since November as well, which is magnificent for them as well. So it's not going to be an easy game for the Rocks. This could be a torrid one. I expect Stones to come out pretty strong here. I expect them to come out. It could be some goals in this game, and I think Eastleigh could have a bit of a torrid time. And I think this could be a fairly standard result for Wealdstone, despite Eastleigh's good result last week. I think Wealdstone will win this one 3-0 and deepen Eastleigh's relegation fears. One of the standout fixtures in the league this weekend is Welling United as they host Bath City. So this is absolutely huge for the playoff race. Welling will have to win to keep their chances of getting that automatic semi-final place alive, but Bath will be desperate to get in there. They'll be willing to pounce, as will Chelmsford if they slip up here. So this is absolutely huge for both teams. Both teams are in decent runs of form. Welling are the third best form team in the division. 11 points in their last 5 games, and they've scored 10 as well, which is pretty good, and they've only conceded 6 from those last 5. Bath are the 6th best form team, and they've got 9 points, scored 6 and conceded just 2, which is pretty outstanding as well. So they're going to be tough to break down. Head to head, Welling's last result was a good 1-0 at Gloucester. Tricky place to go. They weren't beaten in their last 5, but as to our Bath, however, they have been 3 draws, but against tough games, it was a good result. Good draw against Woking last time out, which is a tough game, but they've managed to get a good result there, a good point. They're sure they're taking the point before the game. In contrast to this game, tough one to predict. Both teams will be desperate to get the wins here. I think could see this being goals here. Both teams have got decent goal scoring records. Welling with 61, Bath with 54. So it's a tricky one to predict. I think there will be a high scoring game, but I'm actually going to just nick it the way of Welling because of their form they're in. I think it'll be a narrow 3-2 victory for Welling, and I think they'll boost their chances of getting the automatic semi-final place. Must-win game for Weston-Super-Mare as they host Dartford. Knowing anything other than a win will send them down to the Southern League South for the first time. So it's been a torrid season for Weston, as you all know. They've been down the bottom of the National League South for ages, and I can't remember the last time it was when they were at the bottom. They're booted to the bottom on 25 points, so only a win will keep them up and be delaying the inevitable. They are down, but will just be delaying the inevitable if they do miraculously win. Dartford will be hoping to bounce back. They've hit a really dodgy spell of late, Dartford. The 11th best form team with 8 points, and the last 3 games have been pretty inconsistent form. 2 draws and a loss in their last 3 games against Truro, Hampton, and the loss against Torquay, which was to be expected. Even though Torquay went down to 10, they'll be gutted about they didn't pick something up there. Weston's form is the less said about the better, really. Even though they started picking up, they're getting some good results lately. It's not great, is it? They've got 5 games without a win. They 3-0 loss at Concord, they 1-0 loss at home to Welling, obviously, which was unfortunate. They did get spirited performances against Chelmsford, and Hungerford was also a loss against St Albans in there too. So I honestly can't see Weston doing anything here. I think this is going to be the day that the inevitable is confirmed. They're the worst home team in the division, just 9 points at home, and they only scored 15 goals. Away from home, Dartford have been pretty good as well recently. The 11th best away team, 22 points in the 18 games. So it's going to be curtains here for Weston. I think this will be the last game that they play before they're relegated. I think could be a heavy goal. I think Dartford won't be easy. I think Weston will put up a fight, but I think Dartford will eventually just ease this out 3-1 for the away side. Final game, and undoubtedly the game of the day, is the top 2 go head to head. Woking against Torquay United. Woking will know that realistically, if they don't pick up all 3 points in the title as Torquay's, it's already out of their reach, obviously, with them being 7 points clear, but they've got to win here if they want to have any chance of still being in the automatic title race. Torquay will obviously feel like they've got a strong grip on it, but they will want to win this obviously for bragging rights and just all but confirm their place, automatic place in the National League and their name on the title. Home, however, Woking, despite being second only, the 7th best home team in the division, picking just 37 points up from the 18 games. They have, however, scored 13 and conceded just 18 at home. However, the last home game obviously was that disappointing 1-0 loss at home to Slough, and they've obviously haven't won their last 2 games, obviously because they drew at Bath and lost on Saturday as well. So they're a dodgy bit of form-wise over the last 5 games. However, Torquay are top of that, 15 points over the last 5 games, won all 5 of their last 5. They're going to take a massive job for Woking to stop their Torquay's route here, as they're the 9th best form team in the division, picking just 8 from the last 5. So honestly, I think this will be Torquay's game. I can't see anything other, especially with the form they're in. Magnificent form at the moment. Torquay obviously 3-6, 3-1 victory against Chelmsford, 3-2 against Broadstone. It's magnificent the amount of the goal they scored, 3-6-79. Over like 11 goals in their last 5 games. It's brilliant, and I can see this happening here. I don't think it'll be as convincing. I think it'll be scrappy. Woking will obviously be up for it. I think Torquay will just edge this one. I think it'll be a 2-1 away victory for Torquay, all but confirming their name on the title. That is all the games that are taking place in the National League South this weekend. Hope you enjoyed this video, and leave your thoughts on the games that are going on down below. I'll leave the games that are taking place in the description below, so you can easily come with your predictions and thoughts on this weekend's games, pardon me. So yeah, comment any thoughts down below, any questions or comments you have for me, I'll comment down below. My Twitter, Snapchat and Instagram are in the description, so if you want to follow me, ask me anything on there, add me on Snapchat, feel free to do that. So thank you very much for watching this video. My next video will obviously be the roundup. I'll try to film on Saturday, I'll probably be out on Monday. So hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.